Well, welcome everyone. Good to see you all, hear you all, and we will start with Danielle doing a roll call.
Melanie Beam.
Here.
Heather Campbell.
Here.
Jennifer Demuth. Ryan Dunn.
Here.
Kelly Engelhardt.
Here.
Brian Kress.
Here.
Mark Murphy. Jeff Neidig.
Here.
Marianne Audie.
Here.
Polly Peyton Miller. I see you. Paul Rossi.
Here.
Julie Smith. Maureen Stoneman.
Here.
Okay. Quorum.
Thank you. Board staff introductions, please.
Natalie
Brad Hill, your
Boland.
board- Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Brad, you go.
Brad Hill, your board counsel.
Natalie Boland, board staff.
Michael Dodds, board staff.
Danielle Lurie, board staff.
Veronica Spidell, board staff.
Danielle Lurie, board staff.
Hi,
Michelle,
this is
would,
Jennifer Demuth. I missed the board roll call. Sorry about
Oh.
that.
Don't be sorry.
Thanks.
You're here now.
Yay.
Michelle, Mark is on his
Michelle,
way
do
in.
you want in the minutes for board staff?
Yeah, oh, yes, Michelle Sayer, board staff.
Thank you. I didn't know if you were leaving and this was your way of telling us or what.
No, I thought I said it, but
I
probably
think
was
we
not.
said it at the same time.
Ah,
My voice overpowered.
All right. Are we done? We're done with board introductions. Are there any guests introductions? So the two phone numbers are Brian and
Melanie.
Kelly.
Kelly, I believe.
Yeah, Melanie's on video. Kelly must have her computer up as well as her phone. So I see her trying to talk here. Okay.
I
So-
can see you all, you just can't see me.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. So if you want to look at the, I was going to say, was that me moving that around, Mike? If you want to bring up your documents, which there was some last minute changes to a few things. So you should have received the most recent packet, I believe this morning. So the agenda was, make sure you're looking at the agenda. I don't think the agenda changed. It was just some financial stuff. So we need an approval of the agenda that was
Jeff?
sent out.
Can I jump in with some page number changes?
Yes, please.
Roman numeral 5 director's report, committee vacancies should be 28, comma, and then 30 to 31.
Okay.
And board member training, which is Roman numeral 7 under unfinished business, should be page 29.
Okay. Anyone else have any updates to the agenda? And then we can get a motion in a second for approval.
I so move.
Second, Heather.
Any other discussion on the agenda? Okay, we'll take a roll call vote for the approval of the agenda. Danielle?
Melanie Beam.
Yes.
Heather Campbell.
Yes.
Jennifer Demuth.
Hi.
Kelly Engelhardt.
Yes,
Brian Kress.
Yes.
Ryan Dunn.
Yes.
Mark Murphy.
Yes.
Marianne Audie.
Yes.
Polly Peyton Miller.
Yes.
Paul Rossi.
Yes.
Maureen Stoneman.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next is the approval of the board meeting minutes. Just some minor changes I'll mention, and if anybody please chime in as from your review of it. On page 6, under Public Relations Committee, just Adams has a mismatch of letters in that last section there. The last use of the abbreviation is right there.
Okay.
And then, let's see. Next would be on page 8 under upcoming meetings. Up a little bit, Mike. Right there, the governing board meeting would be October 21st. So. Does anyone have any other reviewed minutes? Review of the minutes, any other changes? And just so I know the formalities of it and our minutes reflect that, may not be a big deal, but up under new business, just up a little bit. And again, it's just a silly little, not silly, but a simple little name that I want to make sure that we're addressing correctly. When board counsel Brad Hillier is mentioned in any of our minutes, what would be the best way to have that in there? Because we have Brad Hillier, then we have the Honorable Hillier.
I would just suggest, guys, you just put me in as Brad Hillier, because when I'm participating in these meetings, I'm doing so as the board attorney, and if, you know, I appreciate the acknowledgement as a judge, but it's not necessary in this context. So.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure we were addressing it appropriately, as when we talk and as when we have it in the minutes. So any other revisions to the minutes? Okay, we'll entertain a motion and a second then to approve the board meeting minutes from September the 16th of 2020.
So moved, Heather.
I'll second, Ryan.
No other discussion, we'll call for a vote, and we'll have a roll call for approval of the minutes. Danielle, please.
Melanie Beam,
Yes.
Heather Campbell,
Yes.
Jennifer Deemy,
Aye.
Ryan Dunn,
Aye.
Kelly Engelhardt,
Yes.
Brian Kress,
Aye.
Mark Murphy,
Yes.
Mary Ann Audie,
Yes.
Holly Peyton Miller,
Yes.
Paul Rossi,
Yes.
Maureen Stoneman.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
Very good. Well, we're going to Roman numeral 2 for our agenda, the Budget Committee. The Budget Committee did meet prior to our meeting at 12:30. It was run by Julie Smith. Julie was not going to be able to make it due to a meeting conflict for this meeting, so I will run through these and present them as a motion as they've been already approved by the Budget Committee. So first item, and I will mention just as a global, and Brad, please correct me if I'm wrong in my wording, but for the then and now certificates and the expenditures for October 2020, just wanted it noted in the minutes that Mark Murphy did not participate in those discussions.
Not vote and abstain from voting.
And abstain from those. Thank you. Which I would suspect, yeah, he would do this one too. So thank you very much. So the then and now, page 10, Mike has it there. And we will let Michelle describe as to, because these are also on the list of bills, but just kind of talk about why is that in the then and now, Michelle, please?
This is in the then and now because these payments are single payments. They can't be lumped into a super blanket. At the time, that concept wasn't even in my mind. So when I went to process payment, I realized that they do need to be individual purchase orders for each organization or each school district that does get funding. So these revenues,
Expenditure.
the
Right.
expenditures,
Yeah.
the invoices, there we go, invoices. Use my words. The invoices were submitted with dates prior to me being able to get the purchase order processed. So that's why there's a then and now.
So we're bringing that to the full board as a motion, as it was approved by the budget committee. So we need a second.
Second, Heather.
All in favor of the motion will be an aye as we do the roll call vote through Danielle.
Melanie Beam,
Aye.
Heather Campbell,
Aye.
Jennifer Demuth,
Aye.
Ryan Dunn,
Aye.
Kelly Engelhardt,
Yes.
Brian Kress,
Aye.
Mark Murphy,
Abstain.
Mary Ann Audie,
Aye.
Polly Peyton Miller,
Aye.
Paul Rossi,
Aye.
Maureen Stillman.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. And since it's been a while since I presented budget committee stuff, a few months anyway, we do need that second. Is that correct? It's coming out of committee as a motion and then we need a second from the board. Is that right?
I think so.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Next item is 2B, review and approval of expenditures for October 2020, pages 11 through 12. Mike has them up there. The ones in yellow are the updates from the previous email and what came in this morning to you. And you'll notice on the page that Mike's scrolling to here, those then and nows are under 740, the K-12 prevention. So again, in the interest of time, the budget committee did review these, discuss them, and especially the ones that were kind of new and different from before, and are recommending to the board that they be approved. But just in case there's any pressing issues, does anybody have any? Well, I guess we'll first offer up for the second, since it already is coming to the board as a motion, if there be a second to approve the expenditures.
I'll second that, Mary Ann.
Very good. So is there any discussion on that? Any questions related to, just for education, if you were questioning what is that expense or this expense? Okay. Great. So roll call vote then, Danielle, for approval of the expenditures for October 2020.
Melanie Beam,
Aye.
Heather Campbell,
Aye.
Jennifer Demuth,
Aye.
Ryan Dunn,
Aye.
Kelly Engelhardt,
Aye.
Brian Kress,
Aye.
Mark Murphy,
Abstain.
Mary Ann Audie,
Aye.
Polly Peyton Miller,
Aye.
Paul Rossi,
Aye.
Maureen Stillman.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. 2C then, item is a review and approval of the financial statements through June. This was our last fiscal year. And there were a couple items that were on the expenditures that were from last year. So they had to be adjusted onto the financial statements. So again, though the budget committee reviewed these in detail and are recommending to the board their approval. So we need a motion, that motion second to be voted on by the board. Do we have a second?
I'll make that second, Mary Ann.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Any discussion on the financial statements through June 20th? or June 2020. Sorry. Okay, roll call vote, Danielle?
Melanie Beam,
Aye.
Heather Campbell,
Aye.
Jennifer Demuth,
Aye.
Brian Dunn,
Aye.
Kelly Engelhardt,
Aye.
Brian Kress,
Aye.
Mark Murphy,
Yes.
Marion Audi,
Aye.
Molly Peyton Miller,
Aye.
Paul Rossi,
Aye.
Maureen Stoneman.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. If anybody has any detailed questions, reach out to the budget committee or Michelle. But just again, for the interest of time, the budget committee did review these and made sure that things were in line. But we want to make sure everybody's educated. If they're like, hey, what that one expense is bothering me, or that line's bothering me, by all means, ask about it and email, find out more details so you know. The review and approval of the financial statements through September. So we're into this year. Yippee. Almost 4 months into it. The budget committee again reviewed these in detail and had discussion and are making the motion to the full board for approval. And we need a second for that for the expenditures, or I'm sorry, financial statements through September of 2020.
Second, Heather.
Thank you, Heather. Any discussion from the board members on this?
Just a couple of questions.
Mhm.
I noticed a number of categories that are within the first 3 months already 100% dispersed for the year. Are these pass-through funds or?
They are, yeah.
Okay.
Very good question. Very good analysis. That always caught me off guard as well. But yeah, when you look at those, and Julie discussed this, because when you look at that, okay, we're about a fourth to a third. So you want those percentages over on the right to be of that, but you have to realize the money may not be there yet, or the money may not have been requested yet. And then some of it's just gone. Well, that's exactly that. It's pass-through money. It comes in. We're just the financial
conduit, so to speak?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Sometimes they run it wider right away, and sometimes they don't. There was one, I think the next page, Mike, she mentioned ComQuest, they're like in their expenses. Yeah, the expenses, I'm sorry, one more page down. The ComQuest is requested, I think they're 49%. Yeah, mental health ComQuest is at 49%. It's like, okay, that's a little bit of concern. They're probably going to run out of money. But again, it's allocated budgeted money. That one's a little off. So yeah, the budget committee does look at those. A very good point, though, that gosh, it's 100%. What are we going to do? Well, yeah, those are passed through, and we certainly bring those up for discussion so that we, and Michelle would bring those up to us as well. It's like, we got to watch this one. We're a little bit high, and ComQuest was one of them. So, yeah, good question. Any other discussion? All right, Danielle, could you do a roll call then, please, for approval of the financial statements through September 2020, please?
Melanie Beam,
Melanie, you're muted.
Aye.
There you go. Thank
Heather
Sorry.
Campbell,
Aye.
Jennifer Demuth,
Aye.
Brian Dunn,
Aye.
Kelly Engelhardt,
Aye.
Brian Kress,
Aye.
Mark Murphy,
Yes.
Marion Audi,
Aye.
Holly Peyton Miller,
Yes.
Paul Rossi,
Yes.
Maureen Stoneman.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you, everyone. The next is on, let me get to it here. Mike's bringing it up. 21-22 is the county budget, and this is a preliminary. And just for education, I'll let Michelle give a brief description of why it's preliminary and when we would expect the real thing.
Okay. This is a a budget that we submit typically in October to the county. They put this on as our starting budget for fiscal year 21. That way we can start encumbering funds right from the get-go. And it's previously we've had temporary budgets, which is only like a third or a quarter of the year. So this definitely helps out because sometimes some expenses occur at the beginning of the year and you don't have enough appropriations to make the purchase. So basically, this is just showing what we're anticipating in revenue, what we're anticipating in expenses. There is some cushion built in because of the unappropriated dollars. This is not our operating budget. This is only the county budget so that we can pay our bills and just get our appropriations and our receipts taken care of. After the first of the year, when I have the year-end figures through December, I will be revising this budget so that it is more realistic based on what our actual carryover will be going into calendar year 21. So that will have to be approved no later than the March board meeting because it needs to be in place by April 1st. So my hope is that weather participates and I get it prepared in time for the January board meeting. Then we won't be pushing it.
Okay, great. Thanks for the education on that
Mhm.
for everyone. So again, the budget committee.
I have a quick question about the carryovers that Michelle was mentioning. I noticed there were a number of carryovers from the June budget into the current fiscal year. And do those carry over in that specific category? Or do those kind of fall into a general basket then for reallocation?
It depends on what type of funding that is. We did have several pots of funding from Ohio Mental Health and Addiction Services that we were able to carry over. I believe there was probably 5 to 6 different carryovers. Those are specifically for the same program this year. So what we will be doing is spending those funds first before we start spending the fiscal year 21 allocation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so again, the budget committee reviewed the calendar year 2021 county budget and approved that and are bringing to the full board a motion. So we need a second to have our roll call vote.
I so move.
Thank you, Polly. Danielle, roll call vote, please.
Melanie Bean,
Aye.
Heather Campbell,
Aye.
Jennifer Demuth,
Aye.
Ryan Dunn,
Aye.
Kelly Engelhardt,
Aye.
Brian Kress,
Aye.
Mark Murphy,
Aye.
Mary Ann Audie,
Aye.
Polly Peyton Miller,
Aye.
Paul Rossi,
Aye.
Maureen Stoneman.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. So that takes care of all the budget committee items. Next will be Brian Kress about the Public Relations Committee.
Yeah, so everyone has, I'm sure, read through the minutes from our last meeting a couple weeks ago. Good shape. Most of that meeting, obviously, as you've seen, is from the levy side, with a couple small exceptions. On the levy, all mailers now have been sent. We made some changes there, some decisions at that last meeting, adjusting to current times, if you will, on early voting and what we're seeing happening out there. So as you saw, we decided to get all mailers out instead of reserving some for later, based on the long lines at the courthouse. Beyond that, everything's in place and in good shape. The signage is all out and such as well. I know I've seen a few as I go through town and elsewhere. So I see some good locations there and appreciate those that have placed those for us. In addition, we had a next scheduled meeting would have been election day. Obviously, we're foregoing that meeting. We don't feel a need to have it that day, obviously, and reserving that for a impromptu meeting if needed prior, which we don't believe that's going to be necessary, but we'll wait and play through that. Next to that, from the levy, obviously, was the opiate task force event. that's live streamed on October 25th. We talked about that a little bit last week or last meeting as well at the board. So beyond that, without me being able to read the minutes and such on my phone here, am I missing anything, Natalie or Mike?
You're not missing anything, but I wanted to give the group an update of some things that have happened in the last couple weeks. I was able to get interviews with both WJER and WTUZ, and those either should have aired or should be airing very quickly. I did another brief series of informational podcasts aiming at 3 to 5 minutes with Josh All. One is What is Adams? Another one is what does the our levy do? How is it used? And the last is just kind of about what the system of care is. So he recommended doing these just as real short, quick snippets. And I think, again, continuing to get our message out there is going pretty well. The only other thing that I would say is when I took the K-12 check to Michelle Grimm at Dover City Schools, those prevention dollars from the state, she said, let me get a picture and we'll put it on our Facebook page. And I said, send me that picture. We posted it on our Facebook page. She posted it on the Dover City Schools page and on her personal page. We have gotten so much positive feedback that I'm planning to go on a road show anytime I'm delivering a check to a school and ask for a picture and maybe just a brief summary about what the school is going to do with their prevention dollars. But what a great representation of not only the school's efforts to provide prevention, but also our Adams efforts to support our youth in Tuscan Carroll.
Huge, very good.
That's excellent, Natalie. And you know, and we've talked about this before, and even at the meetings that, you know, I think that we don't want to just be seen, obviously, at levy time when we're asking for funds. I think it would be a great idea to continue those photo shoots and get them out there anytime we're presenting dollars, so they see that through the year, and you'll become a quick celebrity.
Because that's the goal.
Absolutely. Other than that, unless there's questions, that's all I have.
I'll just say the other thing that I've seen not posted by us, but shared by us is we had purchased, I believe through a grant, the signs, the crisis text lines, stands for all the school districts, and like Buckeye Career Center posted one of their administrative staff with the sign and thanked the Adams board for providing it. And so that's getting out amongst the school districts also, pictures that they're posting, and I'm just coming across and sharing them as I find them.
Great. And look at Mark.
Excellent.
Where's Mark going?
Mark is holding up one
There
of
he is.
our
There he is.
Project Hope signs with our resources, and those have been handed out so that people can just put them in their yards before, after, during Project Hope. But that's definitely something that can be used all year round.
And
Excellent.
the Project Hope JPEG for the event on Sunday, I believe got posted at 1:30 today on our Adams board page. So if you can go to that and share that event picture on your agency pages and personal pages, that would be appreciated.
Great.
Any other questions
Okay.
for
Any
Brian?
other?
Well, I have one. We discussed part of public image and stuff at the last meeting. Did we pass out the clothing?
Paul, I didn't have your home address and I didn't know you were back in the office. So now that I know that you're there, I'll drop off your fleece.
Or I can swing by tomorrow.
Either
I
way,
just didn't know if people were wearing out and about, and if, you know.
you're my last one.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I've got. Thanks.
Thank you. And you brought up a good point, Brian, of that, you know, what you talked about was a levy, but we have to remember it's not a levy committee, it's a PR committee. So as we talk about some things later on in the agenda, RSP grant or anything else. And I'm just wondering if we want to pull in the PR committee to discuss some of those things, some of those, what I want to say.
Right.
Yeah, the projects that, and maybe have some discussions with the staff and such, just to, you guys did a great job on, looking through those designs of the signs and the languages and things like that. So just these different things that we're putting out there. Certainly like to use, another great committee that we have to kind of look over what some of the things we're going to do with some of these grants. So
Sure.
just put that challenge out to the PR committee, and as projects come through, we can continue to utilize you guys' great work that you did on the levy.
That sounds good. And we're happy to do it.
Okay. All right. Next is the Tri-Peak Committee. Maureen, you want to take that over for items A, B, and C?
Sure. So the Tri-Peak Committee met last week. We're continuing to go through the policies and procedures, updating them, adopting new ones when we need to. Danielle goes through and makes proposed changes, and then the committee goes through and accepts those changes or makes additional changes. So I think the first thing we need to do is we had 4 policies that we went over. 3 of them, I believe, were just updates, a credit card policy, an interrelation between SFY and CCY, and then an approval of board budget. And then we had a new policy that we adopted that deals with pandemic state of emergency. And so I believe we recommended that the board adopt those policies and the changes. And so I believe we just need a second.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion or any questions regarding those policies? I know you don't have the specific policies. The committee went through each of them. But anyone have any questions? Okay, then a roll call vote, Danielle, please.
Melanie Bean,
Aye.
Heather Campbell,
Aye.
Jennifer Demuth,
Aye.
Ryan Dunn,
You're muted, Ryan.
is he still on?
So sorry. Aye.
Oh, yes. Kelly Engelhardt,
Aye.
Brian Kress,
Aye.
Mark Murphy,
Aye.
Marianne Audie,
Aye.
Polly Peyton Miller,
Aye.
Paul Rossi,
Aye.
and Maureen Stoneman. Motion carried.
Motion passed. The other issue we discussed dealt with personnel issue. So I believe we need to go into executive session to discuss this.
Yeah, Mike has set up a separate room for us, so that's awesome. So once we get the motion and a second to go into executive session, Maureen, we will go into our own room. And I believe, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but you will make that move so that the board and then Natalie, initially Natalie, will be in with us in that executive room session.
And Brad.
Brad, thank you very much.
Yes. So once I open the room, you will all automatically be transferred to it. If you do not see anybody or hear anybody in that room, they are not in that room. So you can be assured that none of the other folks who aren't there can see or hear your discussions. You should have an option whenever you're done that you can choose to leave the room, which is what Natalie will do for you to continue your discussion. Once you all are done with your executive session, then you can all click the leave room option and you'll all return to this meeting. And I will then resume the live stream once you return.
Thank you. Great. So everybody got that? All right, awesome.
This is Brian. This is Brian. I do have a question. Just being on my phone and not on the Zoom meeting, am I going to have an option to come back to the board meeting?
Once I see everybody coming back, I have an option to close the room. When I do that, there's a 6-second pause, and then that room will close and you'll automatically come back. Now, it may
Okay.
give you an instruction when I put you in that room. It may give you an instruction on something you can press to get out of the room since it knows you're on a
Okay.
phone, but I won't know that until that happens.
Okey doke. Thanks.
If not, just dial in. So we will entertain a motion and a second to go into executive session, please.
I'll make that motion.
So moved.
Second, Ryan.
So we had Mary Ann, I believe, and then Ryan would second. Okay, we're in executive session. Please move us on over, Mike. Thanks.
Oh, I need a roll call. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm
Sarah.
sorry. Roll call vote to move into executive session.
Melanie Beam,
Aye.
Heather Campbell,
Aye.
Jennifer Demuth,
Aye.
Ryan Dunn,
Aye.
Kelly Engelhardt,
Aye.
Ryan Kress,
Aye.
Mark Murphy,
Yes.
Marion Audie,
Aye.
Polly Peyton Miller,
Yes.
Paul Rossi,
Yes.
Maureen Stoneman.
Yes.
Okay, now you can go.
Okay, this makes me a little nervous. If this all blows up, just go back to your regular Zoom link and re-click and I'll let y'all back in, but crossing my fingers.
Okay. Y'all have to join that room, it looks like.
Brad, I think you need to click something. There we go. Whew. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Or we are still live?
Yep. Oh, wait. Yeah.